Guys, I have to do a very short video on this as a lesson towards those people who are seeking jobs here and there. Now, many people believe that it's only in the Middle East or Saudi Arabia where you may suffer maybe brutality in the hands of a boss. But it's saddening that recently, if you look at what happened in Kiambu, then you will actually realize that humanity is an element that varies from one place to another. Now, our own Kenyan lady almost killed a maid, and you can actually see the woman was found in the basement. She was broken from the spinal cord and the body, and it is a sad case. I don't even know how to talk about this, but it's just a lesson. I always say we have to teach the living. Now let's watch this a bit, then I'll talk about it.
Kiambu police are investigating what they believe is a murder attempt involving a young woman who fell from the 4th floor of Jumuira Heights on Monday, November 18, 2024. The victim, identified as Shani Melza Atieno, a house help, was found lying in the apartment's basement after the fall.
In this case, you realize there are so many housemates who may be experiencing the same. Some may not be up to this level, but I know of people who have come from houses and sometimes they claim they have been overworked. They don't sleep early, they don't wake up late, and no matter what they do, nobody praises them. The salaries are very low, and you find that food is limited for them. So it is high time that we stop talking about Middle East alone and also focus within Kenya. What are the housemates handling or dealing with? I wish there was a body that was actually looking into the situations of house helps, because if you look at the case of Shani, she's a very young girl who seems only to have pushed into this situation because of maybe lack of funds or a source of income. And if you look at what she has experienced, she'll never be the same, because she seems now to have made disabled. If her spinal cord is broken, some parts of her hands, the head, and she has gone through fractures, which she's experienced various times. This abuse is not the first. The woman she was living with has consistently been mistreating and beating her with different household items. I wonder where the neighbors were and if they never had this, because if they could help her to run away, then she would have avoided all this mess that ended up placing her at the basement.
Enduring physical abuse from her employer for the 2 months she worked for her. On the fateful, she claims to have been attacked with a knife.
Niingie kwa hiyo nyumba. Sina mani.
Una mani?
Ni vipigo tu.
Kupigwa? Anakupiganga na nini?
Hizo silaha za jikoni. Last time walinigonga mwiko hadi kichwa ikapasuka.
Ikapasuka?
Nilishonwa hapa tu. Naumia. Nimefungiwa kwa nyumba. Hakuna mtu mwenye anaweza nisaidia. Alienda kutoa nguo nikujue vizuri. Nadisha nigonga hizo matisu. Dining chair. Yote.
Kisu amekukata wapi?
Mkono. Na kichwa sijui kama katika jua alikuwa ananigonga nazo.
Nini?
Kichwa. Na hiyo kisu tu.
Atrocity or cruelty from a woman who decides that she will have to keep beating up this young girl with a knife, with a roller, with a dining table, and whatever, name them. So what have we turned into? Many people normally say don't judge one side before you listen to the other, but does anyone deserve this? Because I believe if you don't want a worker anymore, you better just send them back packing instead of doing such atrocities. What is the difference between this one and some things that we see in the media in Saudi Arabia? Now, the lessons we learn from here will come later, but let's look at the final atrocity that this woman perpetrated on this girl earlier. Now remember, the hospital report showed that it's not the first maltreatment. She had gone to hospital, and of course they saw the fractures and they saw signs of physical abuse. But I don't know, in Kenya, it seems there's no one who is very sensitive to notice that if such a thing is happening, then they have to report to the police and then maybe handle it and safeguard someone or rescue them from the hands of those who are mistreating them.
Rola aliniingiza kwa makalio, akatwist rola ya chapati.
Really?
The lessons I've learned from this, or rather we should learn from this. Now look at this Ojilo lady. Physically, look at her. She doesn't look normal. She looks like a drug addict, someone who is up to something bad. So one lesson, you who are looking for jobs in Kenya, be careful. Look at the person who is hiring you, even physically. Because now this woman has been indicated to be a very serious criminal, involved in burglary, house breaking into Makupa police station. Therefore, she seems to be very mature in crime. And that is why she's so sure she can abuse someone and even claim that she has hired so many, and some of them are never known where they've headed or ended up. I don't know whether the sister to this girl also, Atieno, was involved in engaging her into working for this lady. Because sometimes we don't have to make people vulnerable because we need money. We have to be careful. In the current generation, people have become so brutal. I've done so many videos on the same. So let's just look at the details they are giving us, and I'll share more lessons.
Say Lavenda Akinyojilo, who recorded a statement on Monday, is currently under investigation for a series of criminal offences spanning several years and locations. The investigations dates back to 2011 when she was implicated in a break-in and case reported in Makupa police station in Mombasa. She is linked to burglary and stealing in 2018 and 2019 in Kleleshwa. This year, she was arrested in connection with 2 house-breaking and theft incidents that took place in April.
I can tell you for sure, because I have a sister who is working in Saudi Arabia, is that you have to know your rights as a house help. And when you go to an agent, let them be legal agents who can defend your rights, and then let your relatives also be up to the task of defending you and making your employer know that you have people around you. If these people are aware that your relatives know where you come, you work, they'll respect you. Apart from that, as a worker, ukienda kwa nyumba na upate kwamba kila wakati unafungiwa, huwezi hata relate na neighbors. That is a danger sign. Even though most employers like privacy, but if it goes to that level, penye unafungiwa in a way that unafungiwa akitoka, that one is a danger sign. Wakiingia tu, tafuta a way out of how to escape, because we have seen cases of maids hapa Pangani and wherever. They are locked into houses and then they are forced to be cleaning dead bodies that are injected later, and they are like a source of income, cult kind of for some bosses. Now another lesson you people should learn, however hard economic times are, don't be, desperate for jobs. Because when you are desperate, sometimes this is what you end up experiencing. I will also advise some of you, because I know many girls when they are young, they really want to be in towns. They don't want to work in shags. Hiyo ushago sometimes it's better because watu wengi wanaishi na others around. In town, it's about yourself. You don't care about what the neighbor and what is doing. Because I'm very sure this girl must have been shouting wakati wanazungusha rola kwa tumbo yake na wakati anapigwa. But it's like neighbors don't care. Or maybe they know this lady and so they fear. Now for the neighbors, I think you should be caring, at least concerned. If you can't ask this woman anything, then you just report. The police will come for her. But what I'm wondering, all these cases, nanyi polisi mnalala kwa kazi. When we see you in riots, we are very sharp in running after people, arresting and going away with them. When we look in the streets, we are very ready to run after women who are selling apples and arrest. What about this? Because she is a criminal, amekuwa akiingia ndani na kutoka. What have you done as the police? The other thing that I'll teach you, maybe as young as you are, sometimes you don't have to just opt for working in houses where maybe a lady is alone, hana watoto. Mnapromisiwa pesa nyingi, you think that is the best place to work. You don't deserve what you experience, but I believe sometimes in such situations where there's a young lady who doesn't even need a worker, na anahitaji, be very careful. And most people are lured because of the amount of money they are promised. I've ever seen one physically akidanganywa na huria to go work, but it was hell in whatever work she had to undergo. So I don't have to talk a lot because it's already late. I'm having a busy schedule, that's why I'm not making very many videos. But I hope I've taught a lesson through this video. And as you watch, we pray that this girl heals very fast and others should learn so that they don't go through the same experience. And we also hope the police will do their role so that this lady is tried and finally even should face a long capital sentence, actually. So if you've not subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing, and good night. Bye bye for now.